What's up, YouTube? This is your YouTube post for March 15th, 2024. Good day is cool, and let's get on with this upload. So vacation. So I am on vacation right now. I have two more days before I have to go back to work. And I work 3, then off 3. But will hopefully, if vacation hours equal pay, we'll be getting motel 6 for 4 nights from 21st to 25th. I won't have to bring my work clothes, unfortunately, because I do work Sunday, which sucks. And go home, turn around, go back to work, and, well, you know the deal. Then stuck until at least July, and which will bring up August vacation with Mr. Baum shortly. Total cost is $313.47. We'll have stream time and posting from hotel room pics. Hopefully we'll have someone with me. Unfortunately, I have to bring clothes with me since I work on a Sunday morning at 9:30 a.m. Sometime in May, but I'm not sure yet. But the goal is to get extended stay again in May from May 5th to the 8th. Also will be half work, half vacation kind of deal. Total cost. Let's see if I put it in here. Total cost will be let me do a quickie. Not quickie, quickie. Wednesday, May 5th to 8th. So the day rate's $136.49. It'll be $501.79. Like, where's the total? Minus other things, of course, but. And then, of course, in August, I will be going down to Monrovia, California to see Mr. Famous, Mr. Bombi, to where we can have dinner, talk business, talk stream, chill, hopefully help him with the furniture for his apartment, and hopefully talk about him coming up here. As per I said in the last post, he had mentioned that he would move up here to San Francisco Bay Area with someone. So we'll see if that happens. Which I will be starting to save hopefully next month. I want to have it all saved up by July, hopefully. And then final vacation will be October 13th to the 20th. Same deal, gonna extend the stay. Not yet sure of the amount, but I will tell you in the closest post to the time period. So it'll obviously be the 8th to the 12th. Yeah, for 4-day visit. Okay, so last BC, because I had to do 3 separate streams because YouNow kept crapping, like always. I got 24,128 likes, and I'm 3 levels shy of Prophetess. In diamonds, I'm at 71.194, total cost $7.11. My crown, I needed to send almost 95,767 more likes before March 15th, which ain't gonna happen. So I'm at 54,213 out of 150,000 likes to be sent. Props, I'm at 32.64 experience to level 78, plus 100 bonus bars. Top fans are Fatma, Engine, and Salvo. I did gain 1 sub, which is awesome. I subbed the person. I did a sub gift. Check me out on social media. Check me out at Facebook, DRCKKRLA10. I do have some new ones, which I'm sure you can find them. Twitter, same thing, DRICKKARLA10, and Instagram at DerekCurly4040. Younow, of course, is DerekCurly_9041. This is the main account now. TikTok, DRICK.KARLEY3 at DCurly2024. Then YouTube, which I'm going to post at SexyKid30. And I do have a full channel on my page, on my here, but that's too long. So just do SexyKid30. So the last 2 vids, because I did 2 separate ones, total vids of 6 views, 1 extra sub, so I'm at 34. I'm still down by 2. Now in retail news, last year, major drugstore chains, including Walgreens and CVS, closed a significant number of stores throughout the U.S. Rite Aid also new major closures in 2023. Now the retailer just announced that plans to close, downsizing, and will shutter at least 45 more stores in 2024. Rite Aid's downfall became clear last fall. On October 15th, the company filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy amid steadily declining sales and accumulated $3.3 billion in debt. Rite Aid has around 2,100 U.S. stores last October, but with the bankruptcy filing, the company announced that it will be closing 154 locations. Since then, Rite Aid stores have been continually closing across the country, but now there's the 3 new court documents from this month reveal that the company is planning to close even more stores in 2024. The first filing from January 4th shows 15 additional Rite Aid stores set to close. This affects locations in New York, New Hampshire, Michigan, Washington, California, Pennsylvania, Massachusetts, Maryland, Idaho, and Virginia. The next document posted on January 9th details 18 more store closures in the following states: New York, Ohio, Pennsylvania, California, Maryland, Massachusetts, Michigan, Washington, and Oregon. Finally, the most recent court document from January 16th added 12 additional closures to Rite Aid growing list. California, New York, Ohio, Oregon will be affected once again. While Connecticut and Delaware are almost set to lose a location, one of these major initiatives is centered around optimizing the company's storefront footprint, and the retailer has already warned that it may continue to permanently pare down its physical spaces as it works to overcome bankruptcy. In local news, fans of all things San Jose water enthusiasts could cool off the summer with the return of raging waters. The San Jose City Council will vote on February 27th to approve California Dream Entertainment as the water park's new operator for the 24 season. If passed, the park will welcome back visitors in a couple of months. The iconic water park in East San Jose broke hearts when it shuttered in 2023. Previous park owner Palace Entertainment terminated its 20-year lease with the city last September. Mayor Matt Mayhem grew up going to Raging Waters, commuting from Watsonville. He said that the short-term lease gives the city breathing room to secure a long-term operator while keeping the park open. Since the closure, council members said the city, which owns the park, considered 4 companies seriously for the park's lease, and chose California Dream Entertainment, which will also operate the Sacramento Raging Waters, to run the park until September 2025. The operator plans to invest $6 million into the park for renovation, food trucks, and an outdoor wine garden. After the park opens, the city will take in 66% of the gross revenue, a slight increase from the previous operator's agreement at 5.5%. Neil Ruffino, assistant director of the city's parks department, said the majority of revenue will funnel back into Lake Cunningham's revitalization. This winter already has exceptionally wet in San Jose, and with another storm on the horizon, it doesn't hurt to be prepared. Cupertino greenlight housing development at former Vaco Mall after facing cutbacks and years of delays. The largest single housing project in Cupertino history is secured its long-awaited city approval for mixed-use development on the former Vaco Center site. The rise in mixed-use development on the corner of Wolf Road and 7th Street Boulevard encompasses 50 acres. The development will include 2,669 apartment homes with more than 7 acres of public park and gathering spaces and 230,000 square feet of retail space. The project received approval from the city's Community Development Department Friday. VTA prepared abandoned fleet for auction to recover taxpayer dollars after NBC Berry investigation. The Santa Clara Valley Transportation Authority is starting to take first steps to promptly retire 95 paratransit cars and vans after time of news reports by NBC's Bay Area investigative unit. And the investigative unit revealed that VTA left the vehicles to depreciate for at least 4 years. On February 9th, the agency started moving some of the cars to prepare for auction. The auction was reset in April. Dozens of deserted vehicles paid for by taxpayer dollars have been sitting in VTA's Shawnee Divisional off Zinker Road in San Jose since 2020. Satellite imaging revealed by NBC Bay Area revealed that 95 abandoned VTA access paratransit vehicles were used. Most have more than 100,000 miles on them for driving around some of the South-based most vulnerable passengers, such as elderly or disabled riders who qualify for the program. VTA said it retired the vehicles when they were past their useful life. Rather than starting the auction process when staff decommissioned the cars, VTA left the fleet in 2 South Bend lots, adding to the vehicles' loss in value. In 2022, catalytic converter thieves targeted some of the paratransit Toyota Prius vehicles, costing at least $10,000 more in security enhancements. VTA made its records obtained by NBC Bay Area. When NBC Bay Area asked about the fleet, VTA staff declined on-camera interview but said in an email that the initial auction process was delayed due to staffing changes and the COVID-19 pandemic. Founder and CEO of Silicon Valley Transit user VTA Watchdog Group said the agency has more than missed a window to sell the vehicles. He feels VTA compromised the cars. According to VTA, on March 18th, advertising will begin for the vehicles and the auction. The actual auction will take place April 30th. If the cars don't sell, then they'll go back into auction process again. Multiple storm systems will move through the West Coast this weekend and end beginning the work week, pummeling California with both rain and snow. Currently, 26 million people across the state are under flood alerts, which passed history, including in Los Angeles, Fresno, Sacramento, and San Francisco. The atmospheric river-fueled storms in the west are expected to bring flooding and damaging wind across the region, as well as a fleet of snow in the mountain. Last Sunday into Monday is when rainfall rates will peak at 0.5 to 1 inch per hour. As Monday continues, Californians can expect torrential rain, mountain snow, and damaging winds that will continue throughout most of the day before moving east into the Rockies Tuesday. The first storm already hit the Bay Area and points south on Saturday, with the National Weather Service describing its output mainly as light rain and its lifespan as weakening, according to forecast discussed on Saturday. Light and moderate rain was expected to the south in San Luis Obispo and Santa Barbara County, but by the time the system hit Los Angeles last Saturday and into Sunday, the chance of light rain was forecast at 20 to 30%, the Weather Service said. Widespread rain and mountain snow is expected into the Rockies and in the Intermountain West by Sunday morning. Federal forecasters said the Bay Area will see a short lull between the first system and the second stronger system that will include another atmospheric river, a firehouse of precipitation that streams across the sky, drawing water from the Pacific and dumping it into the west coast. By the time the second storm is finished with California, 2 feet or possibly more of snow could be on the ground in the Sierra Nevada mountain range, according to the Center for the Western Weather and Water Extremes. At lower elevation, rainfall totals will generally range from 2 to 4 inches, but will range from 4 to 8 inches in the foothills and the mountains, leading to a localized flash flooding. The Center for Western Weather and Water Extremes at University of California, San Diego has forecasted the second storm's atmospheric river at a strength of 2 or moderate on a scale of 1 to 5. The storm has been described by the National Weather Service Bay Area forecast office as deep Pacific low that could strike the San Francisco area, monitoring mid-morning on Sunday and produce enough rain to trigger a flood watch covering the Bay Area starting at 10 a.m. From Naples to Sonoma County, part of California, which wine country north of the Bay Area to the Central Coast, as much as 6 inches of rain was expected from the second storm, federal forecasters said. The city and county have put together resources and tips for residents to protect themselves and get the relief they need, where the biggest impacts appear to be the North Bay, Coastal Mountains, Santa Cruz Mountains, Monterey County. The National Weather Service indicates that this week's storm may dump 1.5 to 3 inches of rain on the South Bay. All 9 Bay Area counties are under flood watch through Friday, February 2nd at 4 a.m. Sesame Street, which is Sesame Street 2024, February 29, 2024, February 19, 2024, is a 2-hour, 21-minute Big Bird and his Sesame Street friends are mysteriously expelled from their neighborhood, find themselves in Manhattan. They team up with a plucky history show host, Sally Hawthorne, aka Anne Hathaway, who's on a quest to save her show and prove that Sesame Street actually exists, but obstacles created by the evil mayor with reasons of his own for keeping Sesame Street hidden from the world. PG&E is giving millions of dollars to help customers to pay their bills. The company contributed $55 million to expand the REACH program. The program applies a bill credit to qualified customers with unpaid balances to prevent service disconnection. Officials say around half of the money will go to doubling the bill credit customers can receive from $500 to $1,000. The rest of the money will be made available to a larger number of customers at a later date. Applications for the program must have an account in their name with a past due not exceeding $2,000 to meet Pacific income guidelines. The latest COVID variant on the rise is called NJ.1. It now accounts for at least 20% of the cases in the U.S., but there is no evidence that it causes more severe illness. Parents in the UK could sue the government for $145 million for ignoring the impacts of lockdowns on children. This comes from a parents group called Us for Them. They claim the government's COVID inquiry was deemed lockdowns necessary, proportionate, and justified to not account for the harm to children. They demand this to be investigated and quantified and threaten to litigate it for it to happen if necessary. So, and if you knew, experts are warning against online trend to take colloidal silver from anti-aging. Colloidal They say it can lead to seizures, kidney damage, or even turn your skin blue. The group published this letter to the Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak. They say that the inquiry has been done with predetermined conclusions, and because of this, we each hold serious concerns about the conduct of the inquiry to date. To believe the inquiry's approach is now damaging public confidence in its proceedings, and by extension in any recommendations which might ultimately be made. So here's one example of types of research not included in the inquiry, but which definitely should be. New research in various medical journals shows that masks did nothing to help protect children during the epidemic, and that there is no medical basis to support masking children for protection against COVID-19. So why do we do that? And how did it hurt them? Citizen inquiry would take that into account, right? Stopping Trump. It sure seems like the U.S. wants a civil war, doesn't it? The Supreme Court in Colorado has ruled that former President Donald Trump cannot be included on the ballot in the 2024 election. But there is a big but. The court issued a ruling in the same ruling stated its own ruling pending an appeal to the Supreme Court, which is supposed to be heard soon, I think, which can be about 99% sure will happen. So it's an order that is not intended to be put in place. It's truly baffling move to the judicial body, the justice, to admit that they are in uncharted territory, and that this case presents several issues for first impression. Y'all think? Lawyer and YouTuber Viva Friel calls this an attempt to get part of the population to do something stupid. He says that if you can't win the reason, baffle them with bullshit. It's hard to see that it is anything else. No puns. The Colorado Republican Party says that it will withdraw from the primary as party and convert to a pure caucus system if this is allowed to stand. This story is so cute. Oh no, sorry, different story. Sunnyvale residents will vote on a multi-million-dollar bond measure to support local schools facilities this March. Measure C would help Sunnyvale School District continue facility improvements at multiple locations with updating technology and retrofitting old buildings. The measure needs 55% of voter approval to pass. If the measure fails, the district will unable be to finish its ongoing plans. It is such as modernizing Sunnyvale Middle School, which serves more than 1,000 students. Sunnyvale School serves more than 6,000 students across 10 elementary and middle schools. About 2/3 of Sunnyvale's K-8 fall within that district, with most of the other students attending Cupertino Union School District, which is divided along Fremont Avenue, which I never understood, to be honest. Along with upgrades at the middle school, district statement said bond funding would go toward improving accessibility, expanding housing facilities, modernizing technology, added that the funds will be used to improve expanded outside learning opportunities, such as adding more school gardens, like Peterson Middle School does, where students can learn about nature. I've seen that one. So, backstory. So this story kind of leads to my grandparents. So my grandparents used to live in Clear Lake, and I've seen the algae in the lake, and it's nasty. No, the lake's actually man-made; it's not natural. So let's get on with the story. Lately, there have been several public meetings on cleaning up Clear Lake. If this sounds familiar, it's been a hot topic for years. Over the past 30 years, there have been a number of groups that have wanted to change the lake dramatically, and they range from dredging the lake to a depth of more than 100 feet to spraying the lake with a herbicide to kill the weeds and algae. Actually, in comparison to the surrounding lakes, the fish have less mercury than Lake Berryessa and Lake Pillsbury. The mercury in the lake comes from the old mercury mine near Rattlesnake Island. It was on the Superfund cleanup, and a lot has been done. Down through the years, there have been a multitude of suggestions to change Clear Lake, and they have ranged from rerouting the Eel River through Clear Lake to flush it out, to treating the lake with thousands of gallons of aluminum sulfate to rid the lake of algae, and even dredging the lake to depth of more than 100 feet. While all have sparked interest at the time, they have all failed to occur because biologists and geologists have said that the harm to the environment could be far outweigh the benefits. Let's look at the history of one of the oldest lakes in Northern California and Northern America. Clear Lake has been a shallow lake for thousands of years. 20 years ago, an organization called California Association of Lake Bed Management held a three-day seminar in Lake County for scientists from throughout the state. A number of the eminent scientists who had studied Clear Lake said that it had always been considered a shallow and fertile lake. Hundreds of years ago, there were some deep holes in the south end of the lake, but the main body of the lake has always been less than 30 feet deep. As for the algae, while it does present problems during the hot summer months, especially the pontoon boats, for most of the year the lake is relatively free of algae. Actually, some algae is good for the lake because zooplankton feed on the algae and the fish eat the plankton. When Dr. Livingston Stone visited Clear Lake in 1872, he wrote that during the month of August the algae was so thick, can be, in some areas that you could push a boat through it, and in those days were very few people in the county. Yeah, well, if you push through your backside, your motor, so it gets stuck. There was also little or no agriculture to create runoff into the lake. There are more than 130 species of algae in the lake. There are good species of algae and bad ones. Clear Lake has the highest population of fish in the nation, and many of these species of native fish feed on zooplankton, which in turn feed on algae, and without these types of algae, our fish population would only be a shadow of what it is now. Among plants on the lake, algae are among these studied. Algae in tiny water plants that cycle normally between the bottom of the surface, floating up and sinking down. During the day, algae generate oxygen within the lake, and at night, this is pretty. At night, and they consume oxygen. Algae are among the oldest living organisms on our planet, going back to at least 2 billion years. Without question, algae are the most important plants on Earth. They generate more than 70% of the oxygen in the atmosphere. Without them, there would be no life on the planet. Half of the renters in the United States have found themselves paying more than they can afford following years of surging rents, but an increase in construction of multiple unit buildings have boosted the supply of apartments, which is slowly beginning to rein its runaway rents. Nationally, rents declined annually in December for the 8th straight month, according to Realtors.com monthly report. The median asking rent is $1,713, which was down $4 from November and down from $63 in July 2022 peak. However, median rent is still $309 higher than the same time in 2019 before the pandemic. That's a 22% increase. And people who have been feeling it in some places, rents aren't dropping at all. Rent is just increasing at a slower pace. This may come as a relief to the 22.4 million households who, according to Harvard University's Joint Center for Housing Studies, pay more than a third of their income rent. Paying anything above the standard 30% threshold is commonly considered a cost burden, what's more, 12 million of renters are severely cost burdened, which means they're spending more than half of their income on housing. So brief history about Greyhound. Intercity buses once the predominant travel method in the United States, and there is one company that dominated the space, Greyhound Lines, with its instantly recognizable silver race dogs adorning its buses. Greyhound is the classic part of Americana. During the 1940s, the company had an estimated 4,750 bus stations across the nation. And while the company still serves 2,300 destinations across the nation, across America, there have been a clear decline in Greyhound bus stations. This is marked by a surge in the company's terminals being sold to investment firms, relocated to less than desirable areas, or shuttered entirely, while the advent of commercial airline industry can be blamed for the decrease in such bus travel over the decades. Why has there recently been such a rush of Greyhound closures, and what will happen to the approximately 60 million people who still rely on intercity buses as their dominant mode of transportation? Well, in recent years, Greyhound stations in Houston, Philadelphia, Cincinnati, Tampa, Louisiana, Charlottesville, Portland, Oregon have all shut their doors, according to CNN. There have been talks to relocate the Greyhound station in Cleveland, and the real estate hedge fund that owns the Chicago station has reportedly placed the city station on the market. The Chicago station could fetch for more than $30 million, the Wall Street Journal said, if no buyers found, though the 87,000 square foot location could shutter, making Chicago the largest city so far to lose Greyhound terminal. So why are they closing? Well, the after effects of COVID-19 are at least partially to blame. As the epidemic, quote, with its social distancing imperatives and calls for fresh, circulated air, disseminated in the industry, said National Geographic. The shift has resulted in layoffs, station closures, and overall decline in bus ticket sales. The true culprit are a combination of factors, including high operating costs, government underfunding, as the industry shrinks, the cost of maintaining Greyhound routes increases, and that this can threaten to break the comprehensive web of national bus routes. And also true that intercity buses are predominantly frequented by low-income individuals, which there have been protests by officials and passengers in some cities. Quote, other cities are not sorry to see bus stations removed from. In a lot of cases, another factor is the aforementioned purchasing of bus stations by investment groups. As business stagnates business, and Greyhound has been turbocharging the sale of its terminals of these firms, the largest of which is 20 Lake Holdings in 2022. 20 Lake bought 33 Greyhound stations for $140 million. 20 Lake is a subsidiary of Aiden Global Capital, a hedge fund that is notorious for buying up newspapers and other businesses, slashing expense, and in many cases selling off real estate, according to NPR. This happened with the company's Greyhound properties. 20 Lakes began putting in often properties for sale. That means Greyhound has been relocating some stations to the suburbs and in some cases moving them curbside pickup points. So many of Greyhound's customers rely on buses for essential travel during emergencies or in areas without alternative transport options. For large portions of the country, bus lines like Greyhound are the only option for traveling to another city if you don't have a car. And beyond the bus themselves, bus stations were historically the only businesses open around the clock. Bus station closed. The solution for public sector to establish a central hub for interstate travel that also connects to local transit system. But if the station continues to shutter, low-income groups, immigrants, travelers with mobility impairments will take it on the chin, take it on, feel the worst of it. So this one starts keeping us right as So a bus driver buys clothes for boy who didn't have PJs to wear for pajama day after seeing him crying. To one little kid, his bus driver is a hero. Kentucky bus driver Larry Ferris Jr., 35, went above and beyond to help a first grader named Levi at Englehart Elementary School cheer up after he had been having a bad day on Friday, February 9th, according to a Jefferson County Public School press release. Ferris Jr., 35, told Today that when it came to pick up the little boy, he had been in a downhearted mood, which was unlike him, so he asked him about it. That's when the little boy, who had a face full of tears, told him that he didn't have any pajamas, so he couldn't participate in pajama day. Once he finished making his sounds, Ferris Jr. decided to stop by the local Family Dollar store and purchase a few pairs of pajamas in various sizes for the boy. Per the school, he brought pajamas into the school office and asked the staff if they could call Levi down. Levi said in a release that he was thankful for the bus driver for doing the kind deed. Quote, "I can tell Mr. Larry is nice in his heart and filled with joy." He said, "I'm usually really happy, but not on pajama day. When he got me pajamas, I did a happy cry." Ferris Jr. became a bus driver 7 years ago after having worked as a corrections officer and a truck driver, and told Today that it has been the most fulfilling job he's had so far. After Jefferson County Public Schools shared on social media what happened, Ferris Jr. said he was inundated with several touching messages from the community, and he said several people even reached out to help him, let him know that the impact he's had on his own children's lives. How's that for stories? So anyways, I hope you like this update. I will definitely do another update next month, and hopefully I'll do it after I do my first save for Mr. Baum's visit, for me to visit him in August. But anyways, check me out on Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, YouNow, you name it. Most of you know where I am, where to find me, how to call me, how to text me. But anyways, thank you for listening. Have a great day.